Hi Libra, welcome. Thanks so much for tuning into my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Libra for this coming week in November, and we're going into week 2 of November for your reading. So Libra, I want to remind my viewers, new and returning, that this is a general love reading, and of course that means it can apply to any kind of relationship, situation, or circumstance that you might be dealing with. Be flexible with the energy. Don't be overly concerned about the gender of the cards. You might be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the spread, regardless of the gender of the card and regardless of your own gender. Parts of this reading may resonate for you while other parts may not, so take what does and leave behind the rest. My hope is that you enjoy the reading, of course. I also hope it resonates, but most importantly, I hope that you get something out of it, that you feel like it was worth your while. Who wants to watch something that's not worth your while? You gotta get something out of it, right? I mean, entertainment, sure, but if it resonates and you get some advice or you feel like you were able to gain some clarity or something of that nature, that's always the best, right? Okay, Libra, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to give this first deck one more good shuffle, and then we're going to see what's in the cards for Libra. By the way, if you are brand new or you're unfamiliar with my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find more information in the description box below. Okay, here we go. 3 of Wands in reverse. 4 of Cups in reverse. Page of Wands in reverse. 8 of Swords. 9 of Cups. Knight of Swords. The Lovers in reverse. And then we have the Hangman in reverse. Okay, so I've just got a real basic kind of general first message for you, Libra. It feels like things are not quite going your way. Things are not going as planned. You may be feeling some kind of disappointment with regard to something you've been working on or working toward, and it hasn't quite manifested the way that you wanted it to. This might be something that's kind of ongoing, where you feel like you're making some progress, and then you have some kind of issue or obstacle that gets in your way, and you're just tired of not making headway, of receiving bad news, that kind of thing. You want what you want, and you want to go get it. This could apply to a relationship or a connection, with the Lovers out here. Let's get some more cards out here for Libra and see what else we get. Page of Wands, this time in the upright position. King of Wands in reverse. Nine of Pentacles. 5 of Wands. 10 of Wands. Strength. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And then we have the 10 of Swords in reverse. So we have a King of Wands on the table. This is the person I feel like I'm reading for. And I want to remind my female viewers, you can embody this energy, or this could be somebody that you're dealing with. You could feel like you're cross-watching, or whoever you're represented by hasn't shown up yet. But I feel like it's this King of Wands who's feeling a certain level of disappointment or realizing things just aren't going his way. Not going as he had planned or had hoped. This is something that he has complete control of. In other words, there aren't other people influencing the outcome. This is something that I feel like he has complete control of. And I think he knows that. So in other words, whatever decisions or whatever actions he's taking or not taking is what's directly influencing the outcome. Why things aren't going the way they should. My stomach is growling really bad. I should have eaten lunch before this reading, but I didn't. Hopefully you can't hear it because that's kind of embarrassing. But if you hear a grumbling or some kind of weird little noise, it's my stomach. It's my stomach. Here's the other thing about this King of Wands. I feel like he has an understanding that in some way, shape, or form, his situation, whatever he's dealing with right now, does indeed have an effect on other people, other connections, or within a family or group dynamic. Whatever's going on for him does affect others. And I feel like this feels like an ongoing thing to me, or a repeated event. It feels like something that's happened in the past or something that's happened repeatedly in the past. So this is a pattern of behavior, or I even get a pattern of not acting when one should, not taking charge when one should, not doing what's necessary. I get the feeling with this King of Wands, there's something about him not accepting responsibility or not taking action when he needs to or when he needed to. There's something about him directly that's causing the problem. I think he's becoming aware of it. I think it's one of those things where maybe through repeated disappointments, he's like, oh shit, okay, it's because of this, or it's because I didn't do that, or it's because I didn't look at that as something that was important or that should take priority for me. So in other words, whatever he's disappointed about is directly related to something that he did or didn't do, and which, you know, is kind of good news because that means that he has complete control to fix the situation. So let's get some more cards out here for Libra and see what else we get. Page of Swords in reverse. The Tower. Five of Cups in reverse. Four of Wands in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Swords. My stomach again. Three of Cups in reverse. And then the Ace of Wands showed up. Interesting. So if you don't learn from past events, you're bound to repeat it. You're bound to repeat history, okay? We all know that. There's something indicating here that this king has ignored something, or he hasn't acknowledged something, or hasn't learned from something. And because of that, he's repeating the same mistake. It is definitely affecting other people. and it's making other people unhappy. So this King of Wands, he could definitely be in a position of power. This could be a patriarch, or someone who's the head of a business, or someone who's the head of an organization, or someone who's responsible for guiding other people, giving support to other people. He has an influence over others. But there's something that he's doing or not doing, and he keeps doing it, and it's causing problems. It's actually causing problems for him as well. It's not just that he's influencing other people in a negative manner. It's definitely causing problems for him. There's something that he wants, something that he's moving towards, something that he may be manifesting for himself. Nine of Cups. Some kind of wish fulfillment that he's frustrated with because he's not getting what he needs to get, or obtaining what he wants to obtain, or having success with whatever he's trying to have success with, because he's making the same mistake. And the only thing that I'm coming up with so far, Libra, is that this mistake is a lack of action being taken. There's something that he's not doing. Some actual kind of action that he needs to take to change what's going on here. Now, this could be something he's reluctant to do. Maybe he's concerned about the outcome, or thinking that it's going to mess things up. Maybe he's worried about what other people are going to say. Maybe he's worried about accepting the blame for things going wrong if he does something and then it ends up resulting in a more disappointing situation or something worse. I just get the feeling like he might be overly concerned over the level of influence he had. He's carrying the burden of this for sure. Everybody's looking to this King of Wands, and everybody knows that his actions mean something. His actions will have a significant effect on not just the outcome for him, but the outcome for others. So let's get another set of cards out for Libra and see what else we get. Temperance. Page of Pentacles. We have lots of pages out here, and I think all of the pages are out here. Page of Cups is not, but the other three are. So there could be, this could be a situation involving children. I want to throw that out there just in case. Could apply to some of you. 10 of Swords in reverse. Again, it's over here already. Strength, this time in reverse. Knight of Cups in reverse. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Eight of Cups in reverse. And then we have the Knight of Swords in the reverse this time. Okay, so here's what I have with this set. There is this king may feel motivated to take action with regard to the situation more strongly than at other times. So in other words, it feels like there is this tendency for this king to feel more strongly about the situation and feel more inclined to do something or take action with regard to the situation than at other times. But it might be fleeting. And so by that I mean, most of the time I think that this King of Wands would prefer not to do anything about the situation. And that's why things keep kind of repeating. Why the same outcome keeps repeating for this king. But I do feel like there's moments when this king feels like, okay, if I can emotionally invest in this and feel dedicated to making this happen, then I can make it happen. But he's lacking a certain level of motivation or passion for doing what he needs to do. And that's part of the reason why things are the way they are. I wish I had more information regarding what this king is disappointed about. Of course, I'm not going to get specifics regarding that. It's a general reading. So sometimes I feel a little ridiculous using those general terms, but I kind of have to. It's going to turn out that way just because that's the way it's going to turn out. If he does this or he doesn't do this, that's the way it's going to be. I hope you're understanding this reading. If it's resonating with you, Libra, I hope you get what I'm saying. Let's go ahead and get this last round out and see what else we get for Libra. So we have the Sun. Six of Wands. The Chariot. Ace of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Three of Swords in reverse. The Empress. And then we have the Three of Cups again, this time in the upright position. Okay, there's an Empress that's directly affected by this king's actions or inactions. This is someone significant to the situation. An Empress is somebody this could be a more mature individual. An older person doesn't have to be, but this is somebody who's very wise and compassionate. She's got it all together. She's all the queens in one. She's been around the block a few times. This is somebody who's very nurturing. This is somebody who puts 110% into the connections and relationships that she has with other people. And so I think this is why what this king is doing or not doing has impacted other people. And again, it could be a family dynamic or a group dynamic, because this person not infected. I almost said infected. This person is affected by what's going on here. And this king is responsible. I think he's starting to realize that he has a certain level of control or influence over a situation. I'm not sure he realized how much impact he actually had or has. I think he's starting to recognize it more. So this could have been a situation, for example, it's been repeated. It's a repeated outcome as a result of repeated mistakes, making the same mistakes or not addressing a situation, whatever the case may be. It's a repeated event. And it's been repeated because this king just hasn't realized through the passage of time and experiencing these disappointing outcomes that ultimately he is responsible for what's going on. I think he's starting to figure that out, though. I think he's starting to make sense of this, which is good news, because if this king realizes that ultimately he's influencing the situation, him and him alone, then he can start changing what he needs to change, or do what he needs to do, or take action where he needs to take action, so that ultimately the outcome is more positive the next time around. This could have to do with a business or workplace situation, or an investment, or something that ultimately involves money or a financial situation. We do have quite a few pentacles out here. The biggest piece of the puzzle here, the one thing that will change the outcome and what this king is experiencing, is if he decides to not only accept responsibility, but then ultimately do something about it. Take action. But the only way that's going to happen is if he invests a desire. If he's motivated to do it. If he has passion. If he feels like it's what he wants. And I think that's, again, it feels fleeting. It feels like sometimes I want this, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I think this is something that's good for me, and sometimes I'm not so sure. It feels a little wishy-washy, but that's what's going on here. Is certain level of uncertainty, not being consistent. I think this King of Wands is being a little flaky, in other words. And I'm not trying to throw shade if you're this King of Wands. That's what I'm getting from the cards. This air of flakiness. But I think he's starting to realize that. I think he's starting to see the pattern. And how it's affecting other people, which is really important. This Empress person who came out second to last card, I think she's definitely important within this storyline here, but I don't have a whole lot of information. This could be someone who may be able to return back into the mix once things are resolved, or once this king figures out what he needs to do. With the Eight of Cups in reverse, maybe a return of this individual into this family dynamic or group dynamic. Maybe this Empress has kept her distance while this king is experiencing these downfalls, and once he gets it together, once he changes what he needs to change, she can come back into the mix. So that might be part of the situation that's going on here. Oops. There's definitely a level of uncertainty, and I think there's a lot of other people. Not necessarily a lot. There's at least other people surrounding this king who are wondering how this is all going to pan out. Who might be on the edge of they might not be on the edge of their seats, because I think they've experienced some disappointment right alongside with this King of Wands in the past. But I think that there is this sense that something might change, and therefore they might experience a different outcome, and something positive may come out of this eventually, once this king sees what he needs to, or understands what he needs to understand, and sees what he needs to see. There could potentially be an opportunity for a new beginning, a new start. Am I taking this one? I left the deck like this because I thought, you know what, I'm going to take this card. I'm taking it. The Mother. Interesting, because I think that this is the Empress energy that I said I didn't have a whole lot of information about. I think that this is probably going to represent this person. So again, it could be that this person has an opportunity to return into the mix once this King of Wands takes action or does what he needs to do. And again, I don't know that he's realized that it's kind of resting on his shoulders to make this decision, but he has to want to do it. He has to want to do it. That's probably the most significant piece, is he has to want this also. So I think that this Mother card will probably represent this Empress. And the major arcana cards in this Dreams of Gaia deck are similar in nature to, some of them are similar in nature to the traditional Rider-Waite meanings. And this happens to be one of them. The Mother is similar to the Empress. But I am going to read I'm just going to read the main meaning of this card. It's only about a half a page. It has past, present, future, and potential blockage, but based on what I'm seeing in this feels like a present situation, so I think just a little bit of insight into this individual will give you a little bit more information regarding this person so you can decide who it is for you. Might be you if you felt like the cross watcher, so this might be you if you're the cross watcher. Okay, let's see what we've got for Libra. Her womb is the void in which new life forms, safe, nurtured, and protected by her body. She is the earthly universe in which a cosmic soul takes on physical form. There is no more sacred or intimate bond than that of mother and child. She is the mother, nurturer, protector, and creator. She is the very essence of non-sexual intimacy, patience, compassion, unconditional love, and forgiveness. Willing to place the needs of her child before her own, nor is that love reserved only for a child born of her womb, for the highest ideal of the mother is a woman who extends her unconditional love to all who dwell in the world around her, without question of whether or not that love is deserved. The mother gives without hesitation or reservation. She is both teacher and guide, encouraging her children to reveal and nurture their talents. In this way, she gifts them with healthy levels of self-belief, self-esteem, and confidence. The mother is also symbolic of a fertile and abundant mind, a mind where ideas take root. The mother is willing to nurture those ideas and provide what is necessary in order for them to grow and blossom. And there you are. So, obviously you can take this in a literal sense and say, okay, well, this is a maternal figure within this group dynamic who may have the opportunity to return back into the mix once this king figures out what he needs to do. I think that this person, considering the description of the card and what we know about the Empress, is likely to bring some favorable outcomes in the future if she's able to come back and return into the situation, return to the connections or this group dynamic or family dynamic. This could also indicate just the general feeling of the group dynamic, where once things are restructured or fixed or, changed in whatever the way they need to be changed, once those changes are made on behalf of this King of Wands, then the nature of this group dynamic might become more nurturing. The relationships might take on a different feel to them. Right now it feels like there's a lot of disruption, disharmony, upheaval, issues and problems. Maybe people who are kind of shrugging their shoulders and saying, I don't even care about this anymore. Why should I deal with this anymore if this is what I'm looking at? The actual structure of the group dynamic might change. Not the structure. The emotional feel, the way people interact with one another, the relationships themselves, the commitment, loyalty, compassion, the way people talk to one another. They might take on a more nurturing nature once things change and once this king does what he needs to do to fix the situation, and I do feel like it rests on his shoulders. So I'm going to leave this here, Libra. I hope that this reading made sense. I hope that it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're this King of Wands, I think that based on what I'm seeing, there's a certain level of realizing what's going on here or starting to understand and seeing the patterns. And because of that, you'll be able to make the changes you need to make and do what you need to do. But do what feels right for you too, because obviously there's indication here that maybe your heart's not in it. Maybe this is not what you want anymore. Maybe you need to relieve yourself of the situation altogether. You need to want this in order to actually take action. Do what you need to do and get done what needs to get done in order to change the outcome. So I'm going to leave it here, Libra. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated. Please like, share, subscribe if it did. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Libra.